Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel Glow Travel and Repeat. Today we're going to dive straight into some Vietnam travel tips. So we visited Vietnam last year in April and it is by far one of the most beautiful country with amazing people and most delicious food you can ever have. Today I'm going to share some tips with you I learned from my experience. So let's dive into it. Tip number 1, best time to travel. So spring and the autumn are most beautiful time of the year you can visit Vietnam. Spring is between February, March and April. Autumn is September to December. During spring, the days are warmer and it's nice and little bit humid, but it's beautiful. For the autumn season, which is September to December, it gets little bit colder and with less rain, but there is still amazing. But overall, Vietnam is pretty throughout the year. Tip number 2, bring cash. Cash is very important when you're in Vietnam, especially when you're exploring streets, markets, local vendors and food and all these local experiences. And that way you'll support small business owners and street vendors. I'm talking about cards, they are accepted at most of the malls and hotels and fancy restaurants and those big cafes. Overall mix of cash and cards is better. In that way you can have cash to pay the small bills and you can have cards for the cash withdrawal as well as paying bigger bills in fancy restaurants. Tip number 3, how to get around. Grab is the most popular app in Vietnam to go around in the cities. I personally feel it's the best option because of its upfront pricing, so that you know what you're paying for the trip, and that means less scam. You can simply download the app, register your phone number, and if you don't have the Vietnamese phone number, you can always use your WhatsApp number and they will send you OTP on your WhatsApp number and you can easily register through that. Then you can just link your credit card to it, or you can always prepare cash in advance to pay to the driver. Pro tip, if you're a solo traveler or if you're traveling without kids, you can always get a grab bike. That way you'll able to take a faster route and avoid traffic and less spend time on roads. Tip number 4, what to pack. If you're visiting Vietnam during the warmer months, which is February, March and April, always pack light clothes like cotton and the linen clothes because it gets really hot and humid during that time. Also carry a couple of conservative pieces to cover your shoulder and knees if you plan on traveling to the temple. It's just the way of respecting the culture. Also carry some swimwears because they have some awesome beach destination like Da Nang. Carry loads and loads of sunscreen, sunnies and hat because it gets really hot. Carry some comfortable sneakers. If you're visiting between November to February, make sure to pack some extra layers because it gets really cold during that time, especially in the northern part of the Vietnam, which is Hanoi, and especially in Sapa because it's all hilly and a very nice destination, but it gets really cold. Tip number 5, avoid drinking tap water. Do not drink tap water or consume ice from the small restaurants or cafes because it's usually considered unsafe for consumption. It can upset your tummy, which is not really good if you're on vacation. Always use bottled water for brushing teeth and washing fruits and eatable items. Tip number 6, for shopping and bargain. This was the most fun part of our entire trip because I love shopping and bargaining. There are plenty of small vendors selling clothes, accessories, toys and so many things, and it's fun to shop there, especially because they have so many things and so many varieties, and the bargain is must. But always remember to be respectful and polite, and you will always get what you want if you're politely bargaining with them. That's just a pro tip. Always bring cash when you're doing the street shopping because most of the vendors won't accept cards. Pro tip is always go in the early morning. Hanoi is the best spot in Vietnam if you want to go for the shopping, and Old Quarter specifically has so many local vendors and street shoppings that you would love. Tip number 7, SIM card. You can always buy SIM card from the local shops or the airport kiosk, which comes with the pre-packaged data, which is between 15 to 30 GB and which will last you from anywhere between 7 to 30 days. For me personally, I always buy my SIM cards off from Klook because they have some amazing and very affordable options. You can always use my code to get some extra discount. I'll just link that code below in the description box for you. Tip number 8 is money exchange. So if you're carrying some foreign currencies and if you're looking to exchange them, the best recommendation is you can always go into the local Vietnamese bank to get it exchanged, as they will give you the best exchange rate. You will find some local exchange shops, but they don't give really good rates, and usually they're way less. So the best option is to go into any Vietnamese bank and get it exchanged for the good rates. Tip number 9: food options for vegetarians and vegans. Vietnam has plenty of vegan and vegetarian options. I myself is vegetarian. I did not face any problem looking for vegetarian food. In fact, I found one of the best banh mi's in Hanoi. It was amazing. Pro tip: you can always look for the word chai, which is CHAY, and that means vegetarian in Vietnamese. And if the menu says chai, then you will find vegetarian option there. Tip number 10: Hanoi train straight. So when in Hanoi, train straight is must. There are fixed timings for the trains, and you will always find these timings or the schedule in front of cafes in the train streets. There are, I think, 2 or 3 train streets that you can go, but you will always find timing in front of cafes. No need to Google it because timing, they usually change every day. So the best recommendation is you go to the cafe and just click the photo and you look at the time, and whichever best fits your schedule, you can just take that time and come back. You don't need reservation in the cafes to go and sit there. You can just walk in and grab something to it, and you can just sit there and enjoy the train straight. Just be very careful when you're there because the train passes from the very close proximity. So it's quite dangerous, but it's a fun experience. Tip number 11: Halong Bay Excursion. I've gotten so many questions from my friends, my colleagues regarding if the Halong Bay is worth it or not. And from my experience, it's 100% worth it. It's just beautiful. So many people, they opt for a day trip to Halong Bay, whereas I did a 1-day cruise there and it was amazing. If you have got some extra budget, you can always book 1 night or 2 night cruise to Halong Bay. There are different cruise companies that you can opt for. I personally got the Ambassador cruise and it was amazing. The staff was very friendly and food was amazing. So we stayed there for 1 night and they took us for the cave excursion, kayaking, and there was one very small cute village. It was an island village called Kadba Island. So we did the Kadba Island village excursion on bicycle, and it was so fun. So you can always opt for that if you want. If you're opting for any of these cruises or any of these trips, you can always choose their option for pickup and drop off, which we found it very convenient. They pick you up and they drop you off from your hotel. It's just that they require you to be in the old quarter in Hanoi. So you can always plan your trip accordingly and book your stays in old quarter. But yes, it was 10 on 10 experience. Tip number 11: Da Nang travels. Da Nang is a very, very beautiful city surrounded by beaches and hills. Main attraction in Da Nang is Bana Hills, which is 1 hour drive from Da Nang. Pro tip for Bana Hills is always go early to avoid crowd and wear sunscreen and lots of sunscreen, and always carry hat and sunnies, and it gets really hot. When we visited Bana Hills, we hired this amazing tour guide. His name was Andy. He's actually Vietnamese, but he could also speak English very fluently. So on our way to Bana Hills, he was there with us for the whole Da Nang trip. We hired him for 2 days, and he picked us up from the hotel, took to Bana Hills, and he was there with us. He's very knowledgeable, so during the trip he shared so many Vietnamese cultures and histories, and it was just so amazing to have him. For the next day we went to so one day we did Bana Hills, and the other day we went to Hoi An, which is again an hour drive from Da Nang. There we did a banana boat ride, and we explored some local cafes with the best coconut coffee. We also did some Vietnamese cooking classes where we cooked food for ourselves with a chef, and it was amazing experience. Andy, overall, he's amazing guide. I'll link his contact below if you want to hire him. 10 on 10 experience again, amazing guide. Tip number 13, visas. Regardless of where you're traveling, it's always best practice to check your visa conditions of that particular country. Talking about Vietnam, they have the best and very friendly, touristy friendly, I would say, website where you can apply visa by yourself. You can also expedite the visa process if you want through the website. Please be aware of all those local travelers on different pages like Facebook page and like different platforms who will charge you extra for the process, but it's very easy and you can just apply by yourself and save heaps of money. Tip number 14 is flights. Talking from the personal experience, flight delays in Vietnam is very common. So if you are traveling intercity, always plan your journey accordingly. And if you are taking connecting flights, always keep buffer time, because flights, they are always delayed because of one or another reason, but it's just how they work. And that's everything for Vietnam that I learned from my travel, and I hope that helps you. If you have any question, you can always put that in the comment section and I'll reply to that. I'll link everything in the description box, and yeah, I hope that helps. So thank you very much. I'll also post some travel tips for New Zealand and Japan in coming days. So stay tuned. Please hit like, share and subscribe, and love you all.